Hi, I'm Kelsey Zeiser. I'm a senior editor at Light Reading, and we're here in Network X in Paris. And I'm joined by the amazing Ian Morris.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Trying to get caffeinated. Still working on that.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. After not much sleep last night, I feel I need it.
Yeah, we'll find you an espresso soon. Yeah. So there were a lot of great keynotes this morning. Howard Watson with BT talked with Dario Tomasio.
Yeah.
Probably butchering his last name, but hopefully he forgives me. Tommasio with Amdia.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on their chat? They talked about cybersecurity, quantum computing.
Yeah, it's quite a wide-ranging discussion. I think Dario had come on talking about some of the challenges for the industry and how telcos are in this position. They're trying to be more than just connectivity people. I think that's probably the broad theme of the industry in a way at the moment. How do they move into areas where they can, generate sales in areas which isn't just selling broadband or selling mobile connections? And it's kind of an interesting time for BT because they've had this announcement through EE, which is kind of used to be the mobile brand, but is now positioned as the main residential brand to not just be a connectivity player. I mean, what it means, I don't know. It's like they've overhauled the app a bit. They're trying to position themselves as a kind of portal to buy other consumer electronic stuff, and it's open to people who aren't just EE subscribers now. So I think the idea is pull them in, tempt them with other stuff, whether it's to do with gaming or some kind of adjacent products, and then maybe turn them into EE subscribers.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting point he made about bringing them in, and then hopefully they'll sign on for the connectivity piece later.
Yeah, and he was saying, he's quite upfront and honest. I think Howard Watson, he was sort of saying, people like what we use, like the data grid's going up every year, but they don't want to pay any more for it, which is one of these challenges for the industry and gets you into all these areas to do with, should the internet companies pay for some of the connectivity and a lot of other kind of spin-off stuff. But the other interesting thing for me was quite a big focus on security during that chat they had, and they started talking about quantum computing and what BT's doing on the security side. And his job title's actually changed in the last few months. He used to be Chief Technology Officer, and he's now Chief Security and Networks Officer. So they're really positioning themselves as this kind of trusted, reliable source for security. And I just ran into him a few minutes ago, actually. He was saying it's one thing you have to take really seriously with quantum, because what quantum brings is potentially new vulnerabilities, a new way for people to break encryption and get into networks. Unless you kind of stay the head of the game, it's a bit frightening, really.
Yeah, he talked a little bit about the evolution of DNS and firewalls and the perimeter approach to security, and then like you mentioned with quantum, that can be tricky to figure out. And he also talked about applying two-factor authentication throughout the organization. Any thoughts on Dario's research? He had a lot. That was a lot of research early in the morning, but it was really interesting.
Yeah, really good as always, and lots of really good charts. And they've obviously crunched the numbers and looked at things like OPEX and just how much operators spend, what's left over after all the money they make, and everything that they have in operating expenditure is not that much, and was concerned that figure's going up. So it's, a lot of the talk's always about how they can leverage new things and new technologies just to make themselves a bit more profitable and deal with the fact that revenues are either flat sometimes maybe declining. If they're going up, it's always like a percentage point or two.
And then connectivity going up and then prices going down a little bit kind of goes back to your point of people want to pay less for more.
Yeah, and there's no new subscribers to find. So if you can't find new subscribers and you can't find new ways to make sales, then you have to sort of look at things like, the latest industry talking point's been generative AI, I guess. And that's really, for me, it's like an automation play almost. It's, can you use it to, they wouldn't put it this way, but can you use it to cut down on the workforce and, or at least free people up to do other stuff and save some money that way.
Yeah. And Marcus Messer with Telia also talked about the people side of things, changing the culture within telcos and how to, he talked about kind of balancing specialists moving over more towards generalists, but still being, well-learned, upskilled staff, and, just kind of how to empower and encourage your staff to.
Yeah, because that's a challenge for them, isn't it? I suppose the competition from big tech companies for the kind of software people they want these days. But
exactly. It seems like it's been a conversation that's going on for a long time of how to be as agile as some of the hyperscalers and change the kind of traditional approach to the telco culture. So not an easy task, but
No.
you seem pretty optimistic about it.
Well, that's because that cultural conversation's been one that's been going on for years.
Right,
So if
yeah.
someone's optimistic about it, that's a good sign.
Right, yeah. Well, Ian, thanks so much for those updates on the keynotes, and we'll look forward to more coverage.
Thanks, Kelsey.